Hello, everybody. I'm John Zidar. This is Taylor. We are
Hey,
bringing you an hour's worth of entertainment and information, courtesy of Penny Boys. How you doing today, Taylor?
doing pretty well. How are you?
You're looking good. You've got that glow
Mhm.
about you we're gotten used to. Well, folks, we're going to do what we always do on this show. We're going to look at stocks that you have brought to us, and you've got me a few of them now. I've got two of them from YouTube, and then I've got a bunch here, five, I think, so far. We'll try to move through these as quickly as we can. There's been a lot of stuff happening on the market, and a lot of it isn't good. I just got hit with another reverse split just to show you how detrimental this can be. It was ticker AGFAF. And for the record, that is my 51st reverse split on the stocks I hold. It has been detrimental. Well, this stock I got in 2020, didn't know it. Someone asked me, how long you been holding it? And I looked, I got in 2020, averaged down 2021 when it had slipped and falling. Then they did a reverse split. Well, it never recovered, and they just did another one the other day. I invested $1,200 into that company originally. I now have 3 shares left. Figure it out. My average cost per share is $400, and the price of the stock, 10 cents. So the only way you get that money back is to start pouring more money back in. It's horrible. So you're paying more than you ever wanted to. So we've got a lot of those. Lottery, as a matter of fact, I think is one of the first stocks we're going to take a look at here. Let me jump on over that screen. And they just did a 1 in 20. This has a lot of people ask me to look at lottery, and we've talked about lottery. Now, the exciting thing to me about lottery is, and correct me if I am wrong here, but who's their competitors? We've all gone to lots of different stores in lots of different states, and we're all buying these Powerballs, Mega Millions, scratch-off tickets from the lottery. Do you ever have a choice of another lottery company to buy from? Right? Now, I don't know. I covered this, and they said they stopped selling tickets in 2022 summer. They had some financial problems, kicked out the entire management, got new management in there, tweaked the finances, launched it online, are also selling these tickets in other countries at a premium price. They got to pay more for them. I believe it's an opportunity. They don't have any competitors. That's my biggest thing. And as far as I remember, the lottery, everybody knew it. It was a common name like Google. And between that, no competitors and everybody knowing your brand, I think it's going to be huge. I think the future is going to be big for this. Well, right now they just did a reverse split. They are now at $5.10, and they have a super duper low float. A float of, I do believe, okay, I can remember what we saw there. I highlighted so I don't forget. We are at 2.5 million outstanding. That is every share out there for the institutions, the management, the hedge funds, if there are any, and then us. So after you subtract all their shares, that's what's called the float. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's very low. And when this company has a breakout, when things start building up, when something nice really happens, that float can launch folks. So I'm thinking right now, even though she's $5, you need to consider it. I'd watch for the dip. Now, she took the jump, and from what I remember, she went sideways pretty much all day. I thought she'd do something when the strong SMA caught up to her, but it just sliced right through it. Like, no, we've done all we're going to do. But I do like lottery for the long hold. So with that aside, what was the other news we had here? It's not highlighted anymore, but I'll remember. Let's see. Lottery.com announces changes to executive management. That's what I said. They revamped all of that. Lottery.com secures $50 million credit facility and successfully restores to the NASDAQ. They came down. They tumbled all the way down to the OTC, and faster than I thought, they were back up. And they were out of compliance when they first got up there. They had to get the price up over $1. They got back into compliance, they say here, and now they've had a reverse stock split. The last piece of news here, Somebody's always suing these companies. Don't worry about that, folks. Unless there's a criminal charge, unless it's for blatantly doing some insider trading or something, most of these lawsuits are done by investors who are upset because they heard something that wasn't said or gave more credit to it. And you see these pop up all the time. And normally, you have got to have lost $100,000 to even qualify to be in the class action suit. And most of them just fall to the wayside. You just never hear it. Some of them come through, but not most. So, what was the relative volume around lottery today? Well, guess I don't know why this is. I don't know why they've changed the average here. Reverse split shouldn't go changing the average share count. It had an average. We don't know what the average is. Today she did just under 400,000 shares. Darn, is that aggravating. Financials, are they making any money? At the end of 2022, they had $6.7 million. Got to keep about 1/3 of that. And last quarter, they've got another quarter coming out anytime now. They did 620 with 585. So they're making good profit. You know, when you're putting your tickets out digitally, that don't cost a whole heck of a lot. And when you're putting out on paper, that don't cost a whole lot either. So let me see. Disclosures is the last place we've got to look. We do have an 8K here. I like 8Ks. Never know what you're going to find in them. They're all Easter eggs. On July 26th, lottery.com entered into a credit facility. Lots of details there, but you can hear that they're probably getting some sort of credit lined up for themselves. So I like the company. We don't see a lot of catalysts here. They've just had a reverse split of 1 and 20. They've kicked the price up 20 times. I guess it was near a quarter, somewhere near there when she took off. And she's had an 8% drop for the day. So I guess the chart is really where all the telltale signs are after what I've just told you. And go ahead, Lily. All right, Lily.
After all that, huh? Okay, so I got the chart up. All
Thank you,
right.
Taylor.
All right. So it's really weird to read a chart after they've done this, which is that reverse split we were just talking about. All right. So all of these prices that you see, like from back here, that say $11, $12, that's not real. I mean, it is relative to what the stock price is now,
Yeah, forget that relative stuff. You're right.
but
The
you're gonna.
numbers are right.
Mhm. Yeah, so you're gonna have to an easy way to do this, in my opinion, if you're wanting to see like what it would have been back here, for example, just divide everything by 20 because that's what's going on here. Okay, so I mean, you're
Oh,
just gonna
that
have to.
makes chart reading real simple, doesn't
Well,
it?
yeah, it
God.
drives me nuts too. Someone just
See,
said
they ought
that
to
to
have
do
a
this.
chart button that you can hit to see
Yeah,
relative and unrelative. So you should be able
yeah.
to look at it the way you want.
It never does that. Even if you look up the stock price, it'll say like all-time high was such
Yep.
and such. And
Yahoo
even though
Finance has just changed all the
yeah,
prices.
that's a good one. And it'll say like Apple, for example, it did a forward split several times, and it'll still say all-time high was whatever it was, but we all know it was much higher than that. Okay, so anyway, so we had this big consolidation area in from the end of June up until just like the 1st of August, but I it's hard for me to say yeah this was a consolidation. It was, but remember this is divided by 20, so that we're talking about like 20 cents or so, give or take. So a lot of these pumps, when they were at that level, would have been 100% or whatever. I'm not doing the math
Right,
on this,
right,
just a guess.
right.
But from here, like 3.90 to $4 something, that's not going to be your 120% or
No,
whatever it
that's a
is.
half a penny.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, right now, I guess this must have been when they announced it was going to split or do the reverse split or whatever. Because on Wednesday we had this insane amount of volume, and it spiked all the way up to not really $13, but 13 divided by 20, so whatever that was, less than a dollar, but still. So now we're at 4.99. We're in this like
50.
descending wedge or descending channel right now. So what I would expect this to do, just based on what I'm seeing, is maybe come down to this level where this was, even though the price was different here. Stay within this channel until we see a breakout to the downside or to the upside, because right now these EMAs aren't looking good. This is the 4-hour chart, by the way. So I'm kind of just looking for it to stay in this. You see, it's tried to break out of this, and right here, if you can see that, I can kind of blow it up. So this is the 200, and you can see it wicked up and hit right at that. But I still don't really trust this. I'm gonna have to do some more research, because
No,
what this is
the last
showing
three
me,
bars have lower lows, and it's
well, this 200 is still, it's based
oh
on
yeah,
what
yeah.
happened. Yeah, I'm talking about this right here, this part right here. So, but that was before the reverse split. So it's kind of like, yeah, I guess it did hit it, but uh, because now this value is 598. So what was it before, and did it hit it? Like, I'd like to see what this chart looked like pre the split.
I
See
might
what I'm
start
saying?
taking screenshots. If they announce a
Yeah,
reverse split coming, take a screenshot before it happens.
because I really don't know if that would have been the same value. I guess it would be. I'd have to do some more research. But anyway, that's what I'm seeing here on the 4 hours. So if someone was asking about what today looked like, um, I mean, this was the 5 minute. So this is basically what happened today. We just kind of like, we opened pretty high, came back down. It kind of looked like what the SPY did today a little bit. She keeps
In,
changing
in
directions.
reverse.
Uh-huh. We had a reversal, but it looks like we dropped quite a bit after hours. I think you said it closed around 518, 520, whatever, but we're all the way down under $5 now.
Honestly, most of us are expecting a 50% drop. I mean,
So
that's
yeah.
just what happens with reverse stocks that reverse splits with stocks that are struggling. People don't have a lot of faith in them.
Mhm.
And wherever the price goes, it comes back down. And that's your buy zone.
And
I
yeah, and
still think she's
actually
up too high.
that lines up with about where this consolidation area is too. So we could see it come back down to where this area was, and then come back up. But we'd have to break out of this descending wedge here. So that's what I'm seeing with the chart. If you want to add anything else, or you want me
No,
to
I think we
do
need to move
something else,
on to the next one so we can get
let's
these
do it.
covered.
Okay.
Jumping into, I do believe this is INFI, not there. There. All right, this is another one that came to me off of YouTube. Infinity Pharmaceuticals finished the day at just under 11 cents with almost 5% loss on the NASDAQ. What sort of news we got over here? Announces stockholder approval of merger with ME Pharma. That was back at the beginning, halfway through July, but don't worry about it because then they terminated it here at the end of July. 2 weeks. They got the stock probably pumped up here halfway through the month, and then it got everybody bummed out right there. MEI Pharma, large shareholder, wants entire board removed. I haven't dove into that, but there sounds like there's some turmoil going on there. The largest shareholder is not happy with any of the board. You got trouble inside the company. You may want to hold off before you invest. God only know what's going to explode or get, done there. And the most current piece of news, Infinity Pharmaceuticals announces value preservation and maximization plan. Doggone it. I did have that opened up. I can still open it up. It seems to me that right here, in parallel, in order to reduce ongoing expenditures, we have a reduction in force of 21 employees. That's approximately 78% of their workforce. A reduction in the size of the board, cutting that down from 8 to 5. That's 3 of them out. And the remaining 5 members of the board have agreed to serve without being paid for the remainder of their board service. Not just the rest of the year or the rest of the month, forever, as long as you're with the company. Something's going on here. The largest shareholder doesn't want the directors. We've just lost 3 of them. The rest of them ain't ever getting paid again. Something's happening. The reduction force and other value preservation measures are expected to result in a one-time charge of $3.4 million. So they got to pay to make all of these savings. What sort of money are they making? Well, that takes all their money from last year. They did 2.6 million last year, and they got to keep it all. You normally see this with consultation businesses. People are just talking, or digital businesses where you don't have to make anything. You don't have to package anything. I'm not quite sure how this company gets away with it. Let's see what we got over here for the relative volume. About half of what she normally does, dropping from 5 million down to 2.1. Share structure for the company, it's going to be under 90 million. That's the best I can tell you there. And disclosures for the company, we've got an 8K. Bullets, let's see what we got. Costs associated with exit of disposal of activities. Well, they just told us they're cutting things away. What else have we got here? This one came on the 24th. Termination of material agreement. That's them canceling the deal. So I don't see anything hot and exciting going on here right now. No, I think we covered everything, didn't we? Dang sure did. So let's jump on over to that chart for INFI and let's see if we can see anything happening over there.
Okay, well, I like to start with the daily just to see what has always been going on. So we started it. It was listed about 2 years ago, and we're at
We
30.
we still see lottery.
Oh, let me switch. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I
That's
can.
why there's two of us, like two eyeballs.
Yeah. Let me add. So sorry.
I'm going, that chart looks really like the last one.
Oh, wait, I know what I
Wow.
can do. There we go. Sorry about that. So, I forgot to hit the button. Okay,
Hey, it's better
so
than going through the whole thing and us not knowing.
yeah. So about 2 years ago, this IPO'd, I guess, and we were at 30 something dollars. In fact, the high $54, and it just drives me like crazy. Look how we are now. We're just
Do you believe
tank.
that? Do you
It's
see any reverse splits there?
I don't. I don't. I looked for that. None. No
Okay.
no reverse splits. So these are real
Wow,
time.
look how long it's taken for that 200 to catch up.
A very long time. And so this is the daily chart. The last time we had any kind of real big bounce was in February. And I don't know what the news was here, but something in February happened. But then it's just been completely downtrending. This is the lowest it's been right about here, which is point 0283. We're at 0.0432. I mean, if you go to a smaller time frame, it's like, okay, yeah, it's moving a lot, but my gosh, when you look at it like that, it's wild to me. Anyway, so this is what it's been doing. This is the 15 minutes the last couple
Ah,
days.
that
Uh
jump, that jump was on that news of that
mhm.
merger that they terminated 2 weeks later.
Yeah, so this low right here. All right, we'll just move it.
Hmm.
Um But I mean, that's still it's almost 100% move, close to it anyway. So right now, you look at all these wicks though. So we are wicking up and coming down, wicking up, coming down. But right now, like this is a really flat 200 on this the 15-minute chart. We're above that, so that's good news. These EMAs are about to cross. So that's good news. It's going to have to stay around this area. I don't want to see it go below this, which is right about where that support area was. You can see it right here too. So this is the 15-minute. Wouldn't want to see it go below 0.038 or so. But right around this area, like it does have the potential to come up to maybe 5 cents. It does because I mean we saw it right here. Let's see, like right around here. We could see it up here again. Um, but yeah, as of right now, let's see, let's 1 hour. Ooh, kind of like this. So we're kind of in this descending channel here, and it's kind of like breaking out. If you want to like draw lines here, you could see it kind of was in this channel, and then it's breaking out. So that's a good sign. So yeah, it's kind of 50-50 for me though, because, we
Yep.
could come I think all this is running on news, and I think, it could be like, uh, buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing. So once this news kind of goes away or something else comes out, we could come
She
back
is set
down.
up nice. She's gotten on top of the 50, and the 50 is turning
Mhm.
up. So
Mhm.
it shows
Mhm.
at least it needs to be considered. It's
Yeah.
worth keeping your eye on.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I really like this here that it kind of broke out. I
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
And we don't want to see it go below this, in my opinion, right around
No.
here. I do like this that it broke out of that channel. So this is definitely something to keep on your watch list. I like it.
Next stock we're going to take a look
Right.
at came from the underdog. He I see your comment up at the top. I see it down at the bottom. For some reason, these early comments jump around. I'm not sure why that happens. So we are looking at ticker NHYF, Natural Harmony Foods. And I've never heard of this one. This is at 0077. Took a big drop today of 13.5% on the pink tier. Current has the validated information. That's what these green ticks are. You can see the word verified. When you're dealing with the pink folks, look for these. You're not getting any validated information with pinks. This is the only stuff you're going to get. Disclosures, that's not validated. That's just information passed off to us by the management. So make sure you see these. If you get stuck holding a bag, you want to at least know they've been approved by somebody, an unbiased third party. Shell company means they're not in business. They're not making any money, so we shouldn't see anything over here. 0, 0. You can take a quick look at the balance sheet. Wow. Whoa. Okay, this is a true shell company. Have no debt, have no assets, have no revenues. There is absolutely nothing here. Wow. All right, capital surplus, common stock. All right, it really is naked. And so much so that when I jumped around looking for information, there was nothing here. You can see there's nothing at the news. There are no disclosures. We've only got the filings here, which is where I caught my piece of news right here. Supplemental information, change of control. And this just came out yesterday. Change of control is big. It means whatever the business was doing, chances are they're not going to be doing it anymore. Someone else is at the wheel. So they tell us here on August 4th, Synergy Management Group signed a purchase agreement with Giacinto Claudio Salatario to sell the controlling interest of the company through 200 series shares, blah, blah, blah. So this is a change of control, and there is no more real information here of what the new plan is, what's going on. And they tell us down here that this Mr. Claudio Salatario is the director, CEO, CFO, president, and secretary. Those are the 5 people you need to make a corporation. He is the corporation, and we don't know what he's going to do. So this can be exciting. I mean, a change of operations is what's probably going to happen. What are they going to do next? And I'll tell you something. Investors like to speculate. We see stocks run more on speculation than on fact. It is just unbelievable. So he's left all sorts of room here for speculation. This seems to be already a done deal, but we don't have another shred of information to know when anything is going to happen or what is going to happen. Let's see what our share structure is for the company. Well, right now at this point, we've got 600 million authorized. That's what they've got in the bank. That's the maximum they could put on the market, but they can also use them as money, use them to make deals with other companies. They can also use them as payment to the management. We have outstanding shares on the market already, 386 million. They say the insiders have 109 million. That probably changed with this change of control. Unrestricted shares, I'm not thinking change, but who knows? That's the float. If these numbers are correct, we would have a float of about 276 million, which is nothing to dance about. The relative volume around the company today, change of control is exciting, right? Look at that. However, I see a lot of volume and I see the price dropping. So that to me looks like fear, not excitement. People, I guess maybe in this market, we need a little more certainty. In a hot market, speculation runs wild. In a cold market, speculation can definitely work against you. So we had a big increase, over 350% jump in volume from 1.9 million down to 7.2 million. Financials, I don't expect to see anything there. Nope. I think we looked at that already. So that's really all we've got going is a change of control and a big drop on the charts right now. She's got validated information, so she's clean. She's clean. She's got no debt. She's got no dirt. So all we really got are chart technicals to consider right now. So take a look at that chart, NHYF, natural food.
Okay, is this the right chart? I think it is. All right, so I'm on the 4 hour.
Yep.
Obviously, we had a huge increase recently. From here, this is about a 200% move, which is unreal to me.
Wow.
Yeah, so it has really been moving. I mean, even after this, whatever news came out in July 2021, this was a while back.
I'll check.
Um, um, You mean even after that came all the way down to
Nothing.
here? I mean, my God, it's basically nothing. Look at all those zeros. Holy cow. I mean, we're at quadruple 084 right here when it was oh, 0001, I guess I can say, but it did actually go below that. It's almost saying negative. It's like worth nothing right here.
I see
Um,
nothing. I
it's
see
so
no extra
crazy.
information but what I shared with you.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, so from here, I'm on the 4 hour. So
God,
ever since the end of June, it's just been on a tear, basically. I mean, it did dip today. I mean, I think if we can hold
why?
this, it might be able to keep going. So let's look at what happened. Oh, see,
Right.
look,
If you can't say why it's running, you can't say if it's going to stop.
that's why I'm just kind of confused. I don't really know. I mean, the volume started like this is the 1st of August, and it's just been kind of like ripping. I mean, it did dip a little bit, but look, we're above the 200 on the 15-minute again and the 9. So we could see some cross. We're about to converge on all of these EMAs here. But we did, I mean, this is obviously an uptrend right now. Um, I would say, you know, come back to this area here and we'll see what happens when it gets, whoop, see what happens when it gets to about
Yeah,
around
we got
this
a
area, right
possible
around
cup and
here.
handle developing there,
Could be, yeah, absolutely could be. Let's see,
which would mean she would come
we
up
got a
just
50.
about even to where she fell, then drop
Mhm.
about 1/4 of the cup and then shoot up.
Okay. So we could absolutely see that soon. And
Yep,
then
just
after
like that, a
that,
cup and handle, and then
that,
run. But it doesn't stay up there. Grab your parachute. You're going to have to jump off while she's high.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But right now, like, let's see what it comes to this area. But it could absolutely come back down here, come up, like you said. This is the 5 minutes, so yeah, that could happen.
Watch it tomorrow morning, first thing.
Yeah, yeah, keep an eye on this one. Very interesting. And since it's so cheap, a very, very small amount price move is a big percentage gain. Um,
What is its price right now? I can't see the
it
numbers.
is 0077.
0077. You buy on a penny, you doubles at 2 cents. So you're buying under a penny here. Before it even hits 2 cents, you've doubled your money. We looked at APYP at a penny on July 1st. It only went up to 4 cents, 4.5 cents since July. That's 3.5 cents it's gone up. That's 450% you could have
Yeah,
gained since July 31st because we got it at a penny.
yeah.
All right, I guess we should move on to the next one.
Okay.
That's looking good, though. Cup and handle
Oh,
for the morning. It'll be perfect for my coffee. All right. No, that's not the one we're looking at next. We're looking at UAVS, but I told you I had it in the queue.
hey, I'm just switching over like you said.
I love it. No, no, no. You're on target. You are there. Keep me on the ball. So this is UAVS, Ag Eagle Aerial Systems, pretty much a drone company. I got into this company a while ago. I can't even remember what year it was I got in. I've been in this company for a while and she's been down like a lot of stocks. And like I said, I can't average down everything. So you wait until things make a trend change. And that's when you look at them and say, okay, is it worth investing in it now? So Ag Eagle, she's at 22 cents, a little over 2222. If any of you have an omen about that, about 0.5% up on the New York Stock Exchange, free to trade, trade pre-market, trade aftermarket. You don't need any special permission or qualifications. Just change your period for your time of trade. It's not a day trade and it's an extended period trade. You got to get EXT in there. So let's see what we got going on over here. Let's start off with the share structure. It's going to be under 92 million. Volume today, dropped about 75%, going from 1.2 million down to just about 400,000. What is our catalyst? We got anything happening right now? Not there. That's 2014. Wow, that's some old news to be keeping on the board. 8:10, we got news today. Correction. Ag Eagle to host 2023 second quarter results on August 15th. Right now is that time. It seems everybody's bringing out the results. And if they're good, you can get a bounce. You can get a bounce. Ag Eagle issues update on successful introduction of EB Vision unmanned aerial system to defense and commercial markets worldwide. Hey, my highlight stuck. I like it. This makes it easy for me. This is why I like you to bring me your tickers early so I can actually set this up for us. So they tell us here that Ag Eagle, an industry leading provider of full stack flight hardware, sensors, and software for commercial and government uses, that's big money. The industry's next generation in intelligence survey. Check this out. This caught my attention in a big way. It's actually a little scary. The industry's next generation in intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance unmanned aerial systems featuring live 4K resolution video imagery from a distance of up to 12 miles. Folks, you won't even see the drone that's watching you. You'll never see it. I mean, it's hard enough hearing them just when they're around us. 12 miles away, 4K clarity. They're going to be able to read the date on the dime. That is just scary to me. I'm sorry, it is. If they used it for all the righteous purposes, it's a great tool. I'm thinking it's hot. In support of its sales and pre-order efforts, Ag Eagle's team has been engaged in numerous live demonstration and intensive training sessions with officials from government military agencies across the world. They go on to tell us they've trained people now who are efficient with their technology. So they now can sell it to these people and they can make full use of it. The company has also been working in close collaboration with its network of value-added reselling partners in France, United Kingdom, Poland, Italy, and Spain, among other countries, to conduct live demonstrations. If you can read the dime date 12 miles away, everybody's going to want it. And how expensive can drones be? They're a lot cheaper than all the other military equipment. So let's see. The disclosures was the last thing I think we had to check out over here. Effect. This tells me they have gone live on a public offering. That will be this 424B3. 25 million shares are going on the market. I don't know what kind of shares. Sometimes these shares are coming out of the authorized shares. Sometimes these shares are coming from resellers. These are big shareholders who are selling their shares back to the open market. So that doesn't increase the float. But if they're new shares coming from the authorized share count, that's kicking up the float. I do believe we covered everything. We've been doing this in all different orders. So let's go check out UAVS. I'm interested in looking at this chart since
Okay.
I own it. And I don't think I've looked at
Well,
it in a while.
I like to start with the daily and look back and see what's going on. We've had two different reverse splits here. One in 2018, which obviously was a long time ago,
I
and
think I
then
missed that one.
this is peculiar. Right when it IPO'd, they had a 1-15 split in 2014. Very odd. I've never really seen that before. Right away splitting.
They did that to a company I came on to, DATS,
Okay.
DATS. They did a reverse split. I was a pre-IPO holder, and they reverse split our stock before it was
Okay.
ever on the market. And when it came on the market, I was in a reverse split from day one.
Well, just like
Oh,
an FYI, very weird. So here's where we are now. Um, so this is the 4 hour, and I'm looking at this area right here. This is like the lows.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
come back down. So we're kind of just hanging out here, but every time it does kind of hit this area, we do see it bounce back up. So I'm kind of interested here. Um, so on the 4 hour, we're just sitting right above that 9 EMA. And as you can see, like it's done previous times when we have this like downward channel or like a wedge pattern, it's starting to try to break out. But right now it's kind of going sideways. I think that it could break out, especially because we're in this area, this pickup area. So I would keep an eye on this. Now I've been clicking around on these earnings. It really doesn't move on earnings, or if it doesn't, it sometimes it doesn't even announce it. They don't make a big deal about it, but it might. So this catalyst is coming up August 15th. So this might be something to keep an eye on. If they do announce something, it could absolutely do something on earnings, like if they are announcing they're making money, whatever. So, like right here, if I were to have get in this, this is the area I would get in. And
Mhm.
we're around like the 22 cents area. So when we get up here to like, 24 cents, 25, I mean that's I don't know what the percentage is. I would say 20 something percent, but I mean it could go up quite a bit. And this is also interesting on the 4 hour when it did do this, these big wicks come up, it came up right to that 200. So this isn't flattening out yet. So we want to see when that does, but I see
I
it
don't
coming
think
going
so.
sideways. Maybe
That's what I
something will
see.
happen on this in this earnings report if they announce something, but I don't know. I didn't see any big movement on these past earnings. I looked around and they would announce something or it would just be nothing.
Right.
So this
I
is
agree.
this is what we're seeing. Um, this is the 15 minutes. So what it did today. I mean, like it doesn't look like a lot of movement, but percentage wise, if you do get in here, that is significant. I mean, it's something. A couple cents when you're at 20 cents is pretty significant. I mean, what 10% or so. So
Right. Two cents is 10%.
that's what I'm saying. So we do have some movement there. I mean, I kind of like what this is doing here. It's kind of, in this pickup area, and it's done this, twice already. It's not unreasonable for it to do it again. And if
Right.
you,
It's most probable that she's probably going to do another bounce stretching because she
oh,
just had that touch on the 200 on that
it
last
even,
bounce.
yeah, that was right here. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
so
she's trying to get towards it. So I don't see why she
it
wouldn't
is.
try right now.
hmm So that's what I'm seeing on this. If there was anything else you want to add or
Nope,
uh,
I think you tagged
oops.
it. She's in a nice buy zone. If you're
hmm
interested, the 200's approaching for a breakout. She's already showing eagerness with that wick. So she's
hmm
got all the telltale signs. This would be a good buy entry. Not everything at once. You don't know what's going to happen. So you only get 25, 30% of what you want. Know how much you want. Don't just
Yeah.
spend whatever you got. That's not how you risk manage. Buy 25%. If it falls, you won't be bummed out because you
mhm.
can buy another 25% cheaper and average your price down. That's risk management. Do
And
not buy everything at once.
this wick was it wasn't like this was 3 months ago. This was just last week. So it's
Right.
got the potential. This was recent, very recent. So Wednesday, August 2nd. So it was just last week. So there you go. We're in this buy zone again. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Anything else you want to add or
I'm good.
okay?
I'm better than good. All right. Our next one here. This one comes from, I got the name up there, Daniel Werneth. Boy, I had them all in. I don't know if the comments moved around because I had them in order. Now I'm looking at the comment. It's like, that's not the order I have them in, but I do have them. So that's
We
what
can
counts.
accommodate. It's all right.
We are looking at Aiken, AKN, Akanda Core. Let's start, since we're on this page, we'll look at the share structure. Outstanding share structure. It's a low float. 3 million is all they've got completely on the market for everybody, the insiders and us. And I don't know what the float is, but it's going to be under 3 million. That's exciting. When the stock gets some volume, think about it. If they did 10 million shares in one day, 10 million, they would have to sell all these shares 3 times over. They have to cycle through them, which means some people just bought them and they don't want to get rid of them. They're going to hold those shares and force the price to come up. You want my shares? You pay for them. Supply and demand. That's what makes low floats so relative. Looking at the relative volume today, well, that's an increase. I mean, it's not a big number, but you jump from 77,000 to 408,000. What's that? About 600% increase, 500%, right around that zone. News. Let's see if we got anything going on over here. Not since July. NASDAQ notification regarding minimum bid price deficiency. They're at 57 cents. They got that back in beginning of July. Let's see here. See if they get a date. Yes, right there. I think that's what I had over here already. Yeah, they had gotten that. They have until January 1st, 2024. They've got to get the price up over $1 for 10 consecutive business days. They got to close, not just hit $1 and come back down. They have to close over $1 for 10 days straight. Then they are out of hot water. They go back under $1, you start the process all over again. So that's basically all I could find on this company. I didn't see any other information. Looking at her disclosures, an S8, more shares on the market. Is that what this is? I do believe this is registering shares. Canada Corporation, province registered statement of securities. Yeah, I don't know how many. I can't see it here quick and easy. Amount registered 140,000. I'm not even sure if these are going on the market. These may be shares for another purpose. You would actually have to jump into it to see. So we don't have anything recent on the filings. That was back in July. We don't have any real recent news here.
Hey
That was
John,
back in July.
is there anything from around May 2nd, May 3rd? We had a big jump on that.
I don't have anything here on the news. What's that say? And Canada announces termination of a loan agreement. That came at the end of May. Looking at
Okay.
the beginning of May, well, right here. Yeah, their financials came out. This is
Okay.
obviously a foreign company. You can look over here, United Kingdom. I knew that because they have a 20F as their financial. Your American companies have 10Ks, 10Qs. You have disclosures down on the pinks, 20F. So they must have had good news come out in that filing.
Yep.
Well, what really happened here is they filed a late notice first. And then right behind that, they came out with their filing. So they weren't late at all. Maybe they were excited about that. So between the filing coming out and what may be in that filing, she jumped. What was the financials? Well, at the end of 2022, she did 2.6 million with 3. How do you do that? Do you see those
Uh,
numbers?
I do.
Revenues are less than their gross profit. I want a job there. How did you do that, folks? That's magic. And they don't give us any quarterly reports here. So it was the annual report that came out that was exciting because obviously everyone was happy to see more money on the books than they actually made. And look here, cost of revenue. Somebody had to pay them. Come on. I'm liking it. I'm just not understanding this whatsoever. 57 cents. She was up almost 2% today, and she's on the NASDAQ as well. You want to take us over to the charts there, Taylor?
Will do. Make sure it's the right one. Okay, so I was asked about this. This is what happened. So they had an earnings announcement. And
Right. The
so this
20F.
is so this is what happened, and then this happened. So we went all the way up to here. Now, when you're looking at this chart, be careful because there was a reverse split 1 to 10 in March. So just keep that in
Now,
mind.
shouldn't everything after the split be real?
It should be, but it isn't. So
What?
basically, so
Oh man, I'm gonna hate reading charts because I feel I'm
yeah,
reading a lie. That's like changing Lord God in the Bible with Santa Claus.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
it,
know the truth, but I want to see the truth.
yeah, it really wasn't $2.70, because this was after the split. So, but anyway, we've just been. This is the 4 hour. So we've just after that giant jump, even after the split, like let's just say whatever, it jumped up a lot, and then um
How big was that jump?
let's see. Actually, that was after the split. So before that is what. Okay, so it was after the split. So it actually did go up that much. So these are real numbers from after the split, I guess. All the way up to like 270 from 98 cents is where it started about
300%.
pretty much. And then after that, it's just been trailing off, little bit here and there.
I
And
like that
then
spike right there,
this
piercing
is
the 200.
Yeah, this is what happened. This was today
Hot chart,
or
hot
yesterday,
chart.
excuse me. So yesterday, I don't know what happened, but there was a big spike in volume. So we opened here, closed right at the 200, but it did, wick up all the way to $1, and then we came right back down,
Nothing.
and then it hit all-time lows relative to the split, of course, at 51 cents. So that's a giant drop. You imagine trying to buy in here thinking it was going to just run and 50% drop. So we're at like near all time lows, a little bit higher, but that's actually quite a bit from 51 cents to 55 cents, 56 cents. I mean, what is that, like 12% or something? So, I mean,
I
uh,
kind of look for those piercings, that big bar to bust through the 200 and come back down, but not go any lower, fall back to its spot or above. That to me is an indicator. I've seen it so many times that a breakout normally follows that once the 200 gets level. And you know what it is? That bar that broke through the 200 has to go up really high because all of the SMAs
mhm,
are being tugged by it. And if you
mhm,
want to get that 200-day SMA flat, you've got to get that 200, that price up high enough to tug on the 200. So a day or 2 days later, that's when you see a 200-day SMA move and actually get flat because it got tugged up. That's when the price breaks out. So to me, this is worthy of watching for the next 2 to 3 days. See if she starts creeping up towards that 200 and getting ready for a breakout.
Now, another thing just to keep in mind now, I don't know what happened, but all of this happened during pre-market hours. Okay, so that spike happened during pre-market. This black is during the day. But here's what happened yesterday during the day. This is a 15-minute chart. It's just sitting there right on top of that 200 on the 15-minute until it just
Wow.
broke out below it. So I'm going to just call this support just because that's the lowest it was.
Absolutely. And you can
Kind of
see
came here and
when she broke that 200, she launched. And when she came back down to it, she fully respected it, laying on it
right
like that.
here.
So I
Right
figure
here.
if she breaks through that 200 again, she will probably be accepted and you'll get another good run out of her.
hmm
Worthy
Now,
of watching, definitely.
yeah, for sure. But keep in mind now, all this happened during pre-market hours. So this isn't happening during the day. All of that was pre-market. So when someone comes
Probably
in
real early too.
a very beginning, 3 a.m. it started, and then it spiked up at about 3:30. But that's 3:30
And
Central. I'm
this is
assuming.
why if you're holding a stock and you see it getting ready to do a breakout, put in a sell order way high.
Mm-hmm.
Find yourself a strong support, a resistance, put a price in just below that because it could, while you're in bed at 3 in the morning, crack all the way up. And then when you wake up, it's all the way down. But hey, you got money in the bank because you put your sale in the night before. Look at the charts the night before, see if there's any build up for the next morning.
Yeah, if you miss that, then you wake up and if market open, it just completely dropped and it dropped
Yeah.
down even below where you would have gotten in the previous day. So that's not good. But it did consolidate really nicely right here on the 200 during the day yesterday. So we'll see. We got some nice green bars today. So I mean, we can see if there's another whatever the heck this announcement was or whatever happened. Might have been just a short squeeze, who knows? I mean, unless you said something that I went over my head and I didn't even hear it. But so that's what's going on with the chart. That's what I'm seeing. If there's anything else you want me to add, you good?
Nope. No, you're good. I've said my piece.
Okay.
All right, I had this up. I don't know where it went, but I know what it's up. GNS is the next one we're going to take a look at. This comes to us from Bo. Hey, Bo, good to see you. Bo from WV, West Virginia. Yeah, used to live in Virginia. I didn't much care for the blue state, and they didn't much like this Yankee. So let's see what we got going on over here. GNS Group Limited. I just covered this the other day. I said, we looked at it at 75 cents yesterday. It was. And I literally said in it, they have a problem. They are under $1. They have been warned. Well, no, they were under $1, had been warned, fixed it, got over $1, and then they fell back under $1. And I don't see any warning yet, but they were under $1. And I said, oh, I see this hitting $1 tomorrow because of this news. Well, that was what would that be? 25% increase, right? From 75 cents to $1. I said it would get there. And someone asked me today, you still think it's going to hit $1? Well, I guess I was really saying this is definitely going to climb, but I should have probably said that instead. But I did think she could hit a quarter. She jumped from 75 cents up to 81 cents, 8.6% gains on the New York Stock Exchange. The news, they're doing a spin out. Now, this spin out's a little interesting. They've got It's a Singapore company that deals with education, and they have lots of different subsidiaries for different types of education, but primarily for entrepreneurs, people who have money, right? They've got one called Entrepreneurial Resorts, and it's a place where you live and you can hang out with other entrepreneurs and co-work with them. Sounds kind of fun. They're spinning that out, and you're going to get dividends for it. However, when you get all the way down to the nitty gritty of it, they give us all the information here. You got to have your shares bought 2 days before August 31st. That's the cutoff date for buying them. Why 2 days before? It takes 2 days transaction time to get them recorded into the system. So if you buy them on this day, it won't show up until 2 days later. Then they tell us that they have not determined what the ratio is going to be. They're going to tell us that afterwards. Okay. Then they tell us they're going to distribute these September 29th, 2023, on or about. So that's not concrete. They've given themselves some wiggle room. And let's see. They're on the New York Stock Exchange. You can trust them more than you can trust the ones on the OTC, just being straight with you. And then what was the other thing? Right. The most important thing. This new company is not going to the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. It's going to Upstream. Now, there's been a lot of companies dual listing, including this one. They are going to dual list. They're on the New York Stock Exchange, but they're going to put themselves on the Upstream as well. I haven't looked into the Upstream. There's a lot of companies that have had news about dual listing on the Upstream, and I don't know anything about it. And that's where these dividends are going to be, on Upstream. So you're not going to be able to sell these on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. You got to go over to Upstream. You got to get an account over there and take care of it that way. So that's something you've got to consider. But if you're not in it for the dividend and you're just thinking, well, that sounds like hot news, people are probably going to play this to get the free shares like we always do. That's what the catalyst was. And we did have a bump on it today. Is there more to come? Well, as the date gets closer, maybe. Everybody likes to watch them. Put it on your watch list. Let's see. All right. I wanted to see if there's anything there I'd missed. Share structure on the company. Under 27 million. What was the relative volume today? More than double, jumping from 3.5 million to 7.7 million. Let's see. Financials. That was impressive. They made a big jump here from 2021 to 2022. More than doubling their revenues from 8.2 million to 18 million. And they're keeping a nice chunk of it, almost 9 million. Quarterly, they're not giving us the information over here. A lot of times you don't get it with the major exchange stocks. Disclosures, I don't think there was anything over here. F1, they're putting units on the market. Did I remember this right? Wow, what a memory. Yeah, they're putting units on the market. I don't know how many. I didn't dive into it. Units are shares and warrants being sold together as a package deal. You get one of each normally, and you can separate them and then trade each one of them, or save your warrants to buy shares later in the future at a much cheaper price if the stock goes up between now and then. So basically, that's what you got going on over here. I do believe we covered everything here except the charts. No, there was that last piece of information, the relative volume. That's important. She's normally doing, well, that's pretty incredible. Wait a minute.
I thought we were talking about G and S.
Yes, I
Okay.
touched the wrong one. I saw
Let
it
me ask
too.
you a question real quick. What happened January 19th, January 20th, or in January, early February? Anything?
January, February. Scrolling back, let's see how far back they take this. I doubt they're going to go that far back.
Okay.
Hold on.
You'll see it.
Yeah, go ahead and jump on the charts because
Okay.
I've pretty much covered that, and I'll see if I can find anything for January and February.
Yeah, because here's what happened. We were down here around 38 cents, and then it just obviously, my gosh, this is the daily chart. So between January 19th and February 1st, I mean, this is crazy.
Okay.
Huge, huge, huge jump. So let me go back down to the 4 hour. We'll see what's going on here. Now, someone said something about $1. This was just last week. It hit 99.9906. So you're pretty close. So that was last Thursday. So that's what happened there. So obviously we're on an uptrend right now.
That news, though it's not very specific from what I'm looking at here, they announced a share buyback program.
Okay. Well, that's it caused it to jump up and then come
I
right back down.
guess.
So whatever happened last week, we had a giant wick and then it came right back down, and now we're kind of on this uptrend. We got some EMAs crossing. That's good. This one's about to cross. That's good. I mean, all green bars.
Last week was the financials.
Okay, so that's what happened here. I mean, but it was just one big. Let's see what happened here. 15 minutes. So today, okay, today looked good. So today opened up
That's
and
nice.
just today was good. And now we're just kind of flattening out. If we could continue that, that'd be nice.
You look right there. You can see every morning. That's when she takes her jumps
Mhm.
and
Yep.
then dips
Same
and goes
here.
sideways.
Yep, same here. So the
Look for
black
those habits in
daily.
charts. Look for them to jump
Mhm.
every morning. Look for them to have aftermarket activity. Look for something that repeats, because if you can catch a pattern, you can make money off of a pattern.
Mhm. Did it here too on Tuesday. So this is like after hours. This is pre-market. This is during the day on Wednesday. Today it did the same thing. Now we're just kind of flattening out. But I mean, it could definitely keep doing this. It's been doing it. As soon as the market opens, it will like either wick up. Sometimes it stays there. Sometimes it doesn't. Like it wicked up here, came back down, but then just kind of flattened out, up, up.
It looks good though. She is on an uptrend. She's
Yep,
bouncing off her 50, rising. You can't ask for more than that in this market. That's not looking bad.
not bad. And it kind of follows that same trend, like I was saying.
And
It's
we've
got
got a
this.
catalyst. You've got a spin out coming right now, and somebody's going to be interested in that. And as time closes down, you'll see people get eager. Just watch the volume. But again, watch the morning. You may be able to play this every single morning. Just get
Mhm.
yourself a small position, get out 10 in the morning. Next day, get in, get out 10 in the morning. You don't have to get greedy, just get consistent.
Yep.
All right, we are running out of
Next.
time here. I'm going to jump on to the next one. This is GEGI. This one will be pretty quick to cover because there isn't a whole lot going on here. Where did you go? There you is. GEGI. What did I find?
Okay.
I didn't find anything for GEGI. The last time we looked at her, we covered two pieces of news. This is the company that has what they call the glider. It is a trailer that's got two sets of wheels on it, railroad track wheels and tires for the road. And it changes wheels depending which one it's going to drive on. Put your load on there. It is driven autonomously, electrically. They load the thing, drive it down the road, and then get on the railroad tracks. And the last two pieces of news, they've been telling us that they've been adding equipment to their glider. One piece of equipment monitors the railroad tracks to make sure that they're safe. You think, well, how dangerous can they be? Last year, over 700 trains derailed because of the tracks, not just here in America, around the world. And right now, we're doing the checking of tracks with manpower, walking down the tracks with a tape measure. The other one was the last piece of news they had. They came up with some sort of technology to protect the loads, since there's nobody there, to protect the loads from being taken off of these autonomous vehicles. I don't know what it is. And they had gotten two companies to allow them to use their properties, which they have spur lines on and roads. And one of the companies has actually purchased some of these gliders. So things are rolling now. Things are getting going. Laws are changing in California. You can't buy new diesel trucks anymore. They're cutting less and less. They're looking for alternatives. You can carry more on these electric vehicles than you can the other ones, because if they're on the railroad tracks, you don't have to deal with the laws of restriction by road. So there's a lot of things going on here. We just haven't broke through yet. I like GEGI. I think she's on the cusp. We are looking for ulterior ways to move cargo around the country carbon free. And right now we've got a lot of hydrogen trucks out there, but they're not on the road. We need them on the road. This is electric, it's carbon free, but it's going to make use of the railroad tracks. Why clutter the roads if we can get 3 times as much weight on the same space going down the railroad tracks? No money annually yet. No money quarterly yet. Share structure, never happy with this page. I knew it was coming. 1.3 billion shares, folks. It's bad enough that there's so many shares, you got slivers of shareholder value. But when the company starts getting a good momentum, you could almost count on a reverse split, which is going to kill the momentum. The other thing is if they start getting the price up, they're going to get eager to get to the major exchange, especially with technology like this. They're going to want big investors. Big investors won't invest in a pink on the OTC. So if it starts getting exciting and they start climbing in price, you better be leery of a reverse split. They've got plenty of shares there to do it with. Take it from someone who knows. I've been through enough of them. Relative volume today. Oh man, how sad is that? Dropping from 40 million to 14 million. Ow. Disclosures. Anything new over here? 25. That's way back. We're not even going to look at that one. So we've got one more stock I want to take a look at, but we are going to look at the chart for this one first.
Okay. Make sure I'm on the right one. All right.
Yeah,
So So I'm just going to start with the daily real quick. We had a really long consolidation period between the end of February and the 1st of June. Just kind of sat around until something happened. I'm not sure if you were talking about that. I was too busy looking over here. So it's coming up, and now we're in this downtrend. But it I'll tell you in a second. But right now, um, it's kind of scaring me right now because as you can see a little bit, it's kind of reminding me of a head and shoulders pattern right here. Okay. So that's a bearish pattern, right? So it did respect that and it's coming back down. But if you look on the 4 hour and we do, whoops. So on the 4 hour here, we had to look at all these red candles. But so this downward channel, it did break out of it. So that's good. It's trying. Now, here's what's interesting on the 4 hour. Now, you see this 200, it's got to hold this if it's going to have any chance of bouncing back up. Because otherwise, I think it's going to come back down to here, possibly even down into here. And that's like a 50% move to the downside. But if it does come down to this area,
wow.
that's another 100% move because it's 50% down, 100% up. So when you lose 50%, you've got to make 100% to get back to even. So keep that in mind. That's
That's
how
right.
math works. So, um, yeah, so we do see this now. There's another area right here that it could bounce, but right now I really want us to see it respect this 200 on the 4 hour, and we're really close to that. It's 002 right now. This is 0021, so I mean that's pretty darn close. It's kind of respecting it, kind of bounced here, but it's not coming up over this 9 EMA. It did wick up and closed above it, but ever since then it's just down, like,
Yeah, and I
since
always
the end of
say
July.
the price can't climb until it's on top of the nine.
I'm not seeing that, but if we go down another time frame to the 15-minute, this is what happened today, it did come up, and now this kinda looks like a bull flag here, and we are on top of the 9. So
Yep.
it depends on
Yep.
what time frame you're looking at. Um, it could absolutely keep going here and then come up. If you're but you need to get out fast because I've seen a lot of wicks on this. But this doesn't look too terrible. It needs some more news or something.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not really liking it personally. She's not in a worse position, but she doesn't look promising.
Nothing's looking strong right now, but
Yeah, it's a serious downtrend that she's just not showing
huge
any signs of
downtrend.
doing anything but bouncing off of the floor.
It's trying. It did try the other day. This was the beginning of the week because it's
What a shame.
but
But
it
it's a
came right
good
back
buying
down.
opportunity if you think this
Mhm.
company is good for a long hold, as I do. If you honestly, if you think 5, 10 years down the road, we're going to have electric trucks and electric trains, or we're going to be there,
Here's
this company
another.
could be on the top line because they're first mover advantage. There is nobody competing against this company. That's another company without competition. So you've got to consider these big drops as opportunities for long holds.
Yeah, there's a couple different buy zones here you can look at. There's one from here, then there's one in between here. So this is something you can keep your eye on just to see how it's moving. But as a whole, downtrend. But definitely something to keep on your watch list.
All right, I think I'm going to try to cover two more stocks. I know we're over here, folks, so
That's
I'll try
okay.
to do these are on my original list. Oh my God. I think we're getting like 8, 9 minutes per stock. I don't know if I can actually go
Probably
much
my
faster
fault.
than that and make it worth your while. So this is BDPT. This is Velmore's. I owe Velmore gratitude because she has been here from the very start. So we can't miss Velmore's, and she did have her ticker in there. So BDP Bioadaptives, I own it too. I don't remember when I got into it. It's down. She is at 0028. Had a pretty decent day today, over 16.5% gains on the pink tier, and current has that verified information. Says they're in business, but they're not making any money. Let's see why. Well, they got money on the books in 2022. Well, I don't know how much money you have to have on the books to not qualify as, or to qualify as not being a shell risk. They got something there, but it is nothing. $3,000. Balance sheet, real quick to see how they're holding up. 25,000 in the bank, 37,000 in assets, 1.4 million in liabilities. That's a little bit heavy. Let's see what our relative volume is. This is the one we were looking at. She's selling millions, tens of millions of shares every single day. She did 43 million shares for the last 30 days. Today, she did 34 million. Share structure for this company, $750 million roughly. We have any sort of news here? No, not since 2022. How about disclosures? Quarterly report quite a while ago. No, not that one. Yeah, we got nothing here. I have no information, and I did, hold on here. Yes, I remember seeing news. Sometimes for some reason the OTC market don't bring it up. This is news in chronological order. I had already found this because Velmore had her ticker here early. Bioadaptive Inc. announces intention to spin off its livestock impact division as a wholly owned subsidiary. This is another spin out, and this was the last big piece of news. Now, they haven't given us any updates here. I don't even know if we have, I don't recall us having any dates like we had on the last one. We don't know when we have to have our shares bought by. We don't know when they're going to distribute, which means it's not actually down on pen and paper yet. They put it in a news press, but I haven't seen any filings to back this up. Let's see here. At 8K is old. Anything else here we didn't look at? Share structure, volume. I think we covered it all. Let's take a look at that chart for BDPT, Taylor.
Okay. Yep. So you said something about it being down, but no, it's up. From the first of the year
Oh,
until around June,
no,
first
yeah,
of
yeah.
June.
Yeah, it was up 16.5% today.
Oh, today. Okay. So it had been consolidating here between, around triple zero
Wow.
five and 0009 or 10. Now we're at 0026. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, looking at this when I'm used to looking at bigger things, it's like, yeah, it's up, but that's a lot.
Exactly. And that's why people like the OTC. A little
Mhm.
move is actually a big percentage.
Yeah, so it has been wicking up a lot. So I see like the buyers are stepping in,
I
but it's
like
coming
that
right back
chart.
down. So this is the daily. Actually, let me go to the 4 hour real quick. So we've seen lots of resistance right around here, and we're
Yep.
above it now, so that's good. Now
Yeah.
if we can use this area as a new support, it could absolutely keep going. Look at all these EMAs lined up beautifully on the 4 hour. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So, since this has been resistance so many times, one, two, three, four times, kind of a fifth time on the 4 hour, if we can use this as a new support, we can absolutely keep going. Because if you back up and look at the big picture, it's been way above this. And I looked back, I didn't see any evidence of a reverse split or
Reverse
anything
split.
like that. No, I didn't. So, right now, but keep an eye on this because this could be like, a double top, triple top kind of situation. But if the volume keeps up and the buyers keep stepping in and we use this as the new support, absolutely. So this could be like this is after hours. So this is what's going on now. So that's what I see there. It's
It
looking
looks
pretty
good to
bullish.
me.
Hmm.
It looks really good. And I'm glad to see it because as I said, I own it and it's
Yeah,
been down. So it's got a ways to go for
it
me.
does.
All right, last one we're going to take a look at, which was actually in the queue. Somehow she got lost. This is PGPY. And this comes from Justin. There you go, Justin. I wasn't going to leave you hanging, pal. So this is Pagaya Technologies, finished the day at
Pagaya.
$2.31, 5% down on the
PG1.
NASDAQ. So let's see what we can find here. The most recent news, we have Pagaya stock surges after guidance boost, beats Q2 revenues. Taking a quick look at this, record network volume of $1.9 billion. Total revenue and other income grew 8% year over year to 195 million. Adjusted EBITDA grew 255% to 17.5 million. So financially, they're doing pretty well. Let's see what those numbers look like. From 91 million to 445 to 685. On the yearly, they're taking leaps and bounds, and they're not going to give us any other information than that. Quick look at the balance sheet. 332 million in the bank, 1 billion in assets, and only a half a billion in liabilities. That's not bad. Checking out the share structure for Piggy. It just looked that way. 508 million outstanding, half a billion. Float can be anywhere up to that. Relative volume for PGY, she fell a little bit, not a lot, from 9.4 million to 8.7 million. Disclosures for the company. We got a 6K that came out today. That's going to be with the filings, I'm sure. Yeah, that's reporting their filings. And the other 6K that came out 2 days ago, that could be saying they're going to be reporting it. Let's see. Hereby publishes notice of an annual meeting. Before I jump out of these too quick, I always look to see if they give us a list of the proposals. This is where I've been finding a vote for a reverse split. There, you get to see approve adoption of company employee stock purchase program. And instead of having to read, just put the word split in your search bar. See if it shows up. That's not right. You got to put all the letters in for it to work, though. Well, we'll give it one more time. Well, this sucks. Here we
All
go.
good.
Let me see.
Good.
Shares of subject and noted in the pool initially consist of 2%. Is it only there twice? 3 times. Where's the third one? Boink, boink. I don't see any numbers around these. So they're talking about the chance. I don't see any actual proposition here. They always have the option, and they always bring it up that that's something that they could consider. So being authorized recursion open market event, certain changes. Yeah, they're just saying in the event we could need to. So I don't see anything here about that. So we don't have to worry about that. So I think we have pretty much covered everything here. We get all that covered? We did. So with the time we got left, let's share it with Taylor looking at the chart.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Sorry about that.
Another nice chart. Ooh, what a nice day.
This is the one. Okay, so here's what happened. This was their earnings report, but these numbers are terrible. So they must have announced during their earnings report, their announcement, they must have announced something good about their forward guidance, the future of the company, things like that, because obviously this is not good. They missed their revenue, they missed their earnings, but we got some big after hours
That
movement.
goes to show you. Just looking at the annual is not good enough. They didn't give us the quarterlies, but the annuals look great. So we just kind of gave them the benefit of the doubt. Well, these last quarters, even though the price went up, stunk.
So
Sounded
this
to me
is,
like they were good. We read the information, but that's what you get with a scan. You
yeah,
don't
that's
go
what's
through all the information. You'll miss
mhm.
the dirty laundry.
So this is one that, except for this one, it tends to move on earnings. Now, see, we had good earnings back in February, and look what happened. We had a big jump there. So I'll show you what happened. See, this is right here in the like
Wow.
blue. This is what happened during the after hours trading. Okay, this is the fifth. Oh my gosh, uh, this
It,
the 15 minutes. So this is what happened. So they announced their earnings, and this is what usually happens.
is that today?
That was today. This is after hours today. They announced it
Wow.
to Thursday, August 10th. That's today. After hours, that's what that little aftermarket
Justin, you
close.
brought this to us late, buddy.
Yeah. So this thing does move on earnings. So at least we know that now for future reference when they announce another one. I don't see it, queued up for. Oh, yep, we do. There's gonna be another one, November 9th, after
Ooh,
hours probably, give or take. Now this is like this little symbol means like about, so, around the end of September, be looking out for this. So this is something to be watching because this, does move on earnings, so that's actually a good sign. So this is something you can be like, "Okay, I'll
Taylor,
get in this." Yeah,
what charting platform are you using? Because
this
I
is tr
sure like all that information you're
this is
grabbing up at a keystroke.
Trading View.
Wow, that is lovely. I would have to
Mhm.
go search, and it would take me a couple pages to find the next filing. You had it in less than 2 seconds.
Yeah, and sometimes those are off a little bit. They just give an estimated time,
That's all I
so
need is an estimate, so I
so
know a
yeah,
window.
so yeah, so so like I said, around the end of September, be looking for that when that's going to come
Cool.
up because this did move a lot on earnings. So if you got in like at the end of the day, like when the day was the trading day was ending, $2.30 all the way up to a high of 316. That's quite a bit. That's nice. This is a big jump and very very nice. I mean, not this isn't a big 200%er, but I mean, I'll take that.
Oh, heck
Um,
yeah.
so
The
yeah, that was
people
the
who
5
wake up tomorrow morning who are holding it are going to be very
Uh-huh.
happy if it
Yeah,
holds.
if it
These
holds.
aftermarket hours are the wild,
Uh-huh.
wild west.
Absolutely. So we don't know what's gonna I mean, if you weren't able to get out or something during the after hours for whatever reason, like eh,
If
you'll
your
have to
trade didn't
see.
take because you forgot to put EXT in your
Yeah.
order, remember
Mhm.
that, folks. I've had lots of people say, no, it doesn't. I can't do it. It won't do it for me. Are you putting in EXT? It can be day plus EXT, good
Yeah,
till
extended
cancel
hours.
plus
Sure.
EXT.
Yeah,
Any
that's a good point.
EXT will get your sale or buy in.
That's a super good point. Yeah, keep that in mind. Before that, like just over the last this whole past week, it's just been kind of hugging that 200,
Hard.
right? Like, yeah, hard. So this the 15-minute, like I said, and after hours just exploded because
See
of
that
this.
dip
Even
right
though
there
this is
before the bounce? That reminds me of a cat crouching down just before it jumps.
yeah.
That
So that is what.
looks good.
Yep.
That's one I expect, honestly, for it to come back down. You know,
Oh
these
yeah, for
rockets
sure.
run out of gas and come back down. The best you can hope for is that she comes only down 50%. Use that Fibonacci. Find the center point from the start to the finish. If she stays above the halfway point, there's a stronger likelihood that she could continue climbing. But if she comes under it, there's a stronger likelihood she's going to fall even more.
Yeah, so the very end of July, it came up to 282. And as you can see, after hours today, it went even above that. So that's pretty interesting stuff. I like that.
Yeah.
And it is
And it's on
something.
an uptrend, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that looks good. Now, again, this is after hours trading now, so we'll see what it does during the day. But this is something to keep your eye on and check around. Start checking around the end of September for that next earnings report that's going to come out around the first week of November, give or take. Okay.
Well, folks, we ran a little late. I hope you don't mind. We didn't mind.
Nope.
I'm trying to get rid of Taylor was given administrative privileges today, so now we're fighting for buttons. Folks, I see a lot of comments here. I just didn't have a chance to get through. Human Bicycles, Bashar, I think you just did a friend request with me. I didn't see anything there that related to us, but now that I see you're over here watching me, I will friend you back, buddy. Who else we got in here? Bo still talking. I'm loving all these comments. Sarah Gibson, DWAC, EBET. DWAC, I don't know. Trump, he's the wild card with DWAC. You know, we got to see what goes on there. EBET was ripping this morning. That was a nice one. I can't remember what the news was on it. Every morning, folks, on my Discord group over at Penny Boys, which you can join for free, and Twitter, I post market runners from 7:20 in the morning till the bell. You will get all of the stocks running from 001 to $5. And I'll tell you why they're running. I give you the stock, the reason, the price, and the gain. So if you're looking for hot stocks in the morning, you're looking at the guy who'll bring you the breakfast. I got the chef cooking it up for you. So please join me. I love to have you there. Anything from you, Taylor?
Oh, that's it. Enjoyed it.
So did I. Thank you, folks. We appreciate you sticking with us. We'll see you next week. Same place, same time, same beard. Bye.
Bye. Bye.